All right, babies, how are we today? So the other day I was doing a video and a glitch happened. Normally that kind of glitch, I don't know, it, when I'm recording it clicks and then it doesn't click and it unclicks. So I speak for like 5, 7, 10 minutes and then I realize, holy shit, man, I'm not recording. What I do is I take that as a sign. It's like, okay, this it's not it's I'm not ready for this video, or at the very least, I have to kind of like let it out and let enough of it out for me to redo it again because that's effectively what needs to happen. So the video was about this. Uh, this is the script. I'm going to read it to you. It will take some understanding and time, but notice a day comes when your time spent with yourself is more of an adventure that people will have to be extra creative to get your attention and energy. And the idea is, could I use the word reliance? But this is a note for me because like it'll take some understanding and time, and I basically like stopped here. And then, but notice. So I'm telling myself, notice. A day will come, or a day comes, when your time spent with yourself is more of an adventure that people will have to be extra creative to get your attention and energy. Uh, I'm smiling because I'm finding it kind of beautiful. The let me ex let me describe how what this is making me feel. The first thing is the fact that I am basically where I was and where I am right now. Where I was in terms of when it came to people, and that's the beginning of realization because we're always kind of like exposing ourselves and seeking that form of approval or seeking that form of please accept me, play with me, spend time with me, notice me, listen to me, talk to me. And that's that our initial awareness is basically that we're not doing that with ourselves, that we're not listening to what's going on in our heads. And I've had made many videos before where I like intricately describe how I figured out that every single tonality, voice, note in our head is basically a part of us that has been forsaken at one point, that has been left behind because we move on. But we move on without that closure state. We move on without that process. Like, all right, so I moved on. Why? What happened for to necessitate that kind of like change? And that necessity happens due to lack of trust, and not trust in ourselves, but lack of trust in just in general, the way life works, the way everything operates. Like, why does everything have to change? And as Bruce Lee once said it, running water never goes stale because that's basically the core of the universe is change. So at one point, basically, you kind of reflect on people and you reflect on your loneliness around them, or you're kind of like you're around them, but you're not really there. It's just kind of like you're around them for the sake of getting through, passing by, moving, just not really having yourself kind of like not really having that like mentality where you're present. It's the best word I could use. So in this note, basically, it's like it's the beginning of my journey getting to know myself, and it's always there. By the way, it's, who was it? Like one of Socrates' children that stated, "Know thyself." But I think he was wrong because like knowing yourself is a statement, and the way I say it is get to know yourself because you are as ever changing as your environment, as your people, as your activities, your actions, and everything. So you're always changing, you're always moving forward, you're always kind of like there's something new for you to know. So you're always at the precipice of that, like understanding of yourself, getting to know yourself. And here I kind of like wrote it as a note because like it'll take some understanding and time for you for me to completely have it like set in and conceptualize. So a day comes when your time spent with yourself is more of an adventure, where everything you're doing with yourself, whether it's a conversation, whether it's work, whether it's just like walking or activity or talking to people, is more of an adventure that people will have to be extra creative to get your attention and energy. And if anything, that's how things operate because it's like successful people, people kind of like go above and beyond to spend time with them. But unsuccessful people, and again, like we each define success differently because if I wanted to appeal to like artists or I wanted to appeal to art investors, it's completely different. My favorite like example would be like there's a musician who the only people that love his music are musicians. Like he got the niche of the niche, basically. And he got the experts of the field to kind of like love his work. And that's basically like a certain, like that's his market. And for you, is like whatever you define as your success, right? As you spend more time with yourself, your success kind of expresses itself. And moving forward, that expression is what culminates you and your relationship with yourself. And slowly but surely, for to get your time, people will become more creative. Whether it's friends, family, whether it's work associates. It is very much one of those. It is very much one of those. I don't want to say build it, then you will come. But if you're not spending time on people, I don't know. Have you ever like? It's like a kid basically really wanting a game, and after getting the game, 3 days down the line, he's bored of it, right? Because ultimately, that's how people are. When you talk to people, like a day, 2 days down the line, a conversation, two conversations down the line, it becomes kind of like meh. The more depth you have to yourself, the more your conversation kind of like just keeps creating new shit to kind of like interact with. And so ultimately, you're no longer the person chasing the conversation because after trying to have a conversation with people, you kind of get to choose if they're as interesting as you are to yourself or not. Because with yourself, you can experience anything you fucking want. It's literally you, me, myself, and I kind of thing. When it comes to people, they are the variable. So there will come a day where whatever it is you're doing with yourself is more of an adventure. And that is what people will notice. Why is he having so much fun? Why is he not chasing after us? Why is he not giving us the attention that he normally does? Or why are we not getting the attention we want from him or her? Those truly become like the tables turn in that perspective because ultimately they would want a part of that energy of yours, and it's a given, right? 'Cause that's how we operate because we want energy. But the beauty, the stronger bond you have with yourself, the more you understand yourself, and the more you're engaging with yourself, you develop a certain kind of like aura around you that's not easily penetrated, negatively and positively, right? And that allows people to kind of like get out of their comfort get out of their shell in order to reach you, in order to get to a point where, like, they become more creative in how to get your attention. It's funny because that's what school teaches you, right? Say it this way, write it in that way, so it impacts this and it impacts that. The truth is, it all revolves around you and the depth you have with, and the depth of the relationship you have with yourself. And the deeper you go in that relationship, it's not like you're not learning anything new, you're discovering more things. The deeper you go in that relationship with yourself, the deeper others have to go in the relationship with themselves in order to be able to like express themselves in a way that gets your attention and gets your energy. Imagine the struggle for me to kind of be like, hey, Tariq, like it will take you some time and some understanding, like acknowledging that I needed to understand it. It's like one of those kind of like, huh, wow, okay, this, and then write it down and then move on. Amazing. Really, like all we're doing is reflecting on moments in this world. I love you guys. It's a video.